welcome to the channel Bob Sales this time's next year.
An entirely new AR platform with a revolutionary new product. And here it is.
In this episode, I'm going to try and cover the Apple Vision Pro that was just announced on the Apple WWDC live stream. In this video, I'm going to try and cover the capabilities of the device, the headset, the design, pros and the cons, and of course, also how it does and doesn't relate to the VEVE app. Also in this video are going to be some of the interesting announcements that we heard along the way. Now with that being said, this is not endorsed or an advertisement by Apple, but while I'm covering the capabilities of the device itself, it may seem like one. So this video is solely sponsored by myself, Bob Sales. So this year's yearly Apple Worldwide Developers Conference has just taken place this past Monday. Now if you haven't watched the full video, I'd highly recommend it. I will also put the link in the description. Apple's Vision Pro is a mixed reality headset. This is Apple's answer to the Meta's Quest 2 and the Quest Pro VR headset. Now the Vision Pro on first impressions looks like an amazing device and tool in itself. The device itself actually required over 5,000 new patterns for the tech during development stages. Let's start this video with the tech itself. With the Vision Pro, you have the ability to essentially bring any iPhone or MacBook screen or Apple device to life and turn it into a fully immersive experience. With this device, you'll be able to arrange your apps, scale them to different sizes, browse the web in Safari, use notes, calendars, chatting messages, pretty much anything you can do on your current phone, but with the difference of being able to do it immersive and bigger. Now, one of the neatest things about this, all users will operate using their eyes to select the items and use finger movements when scrolling or accessing the menu. This will actually take away any need for a controller, further making the experience seem like you're actually there. Vision Pro can actually transform any home into a cinema. You can stream your favourite shows, you can play games. By the looks of it, you'll even be able to have your American football, your basketball, and watch it with the AR feature on your table. Also, each eye is going to have its own screen with more pixels than a 4K TV. Also, the background settings can be changed while viewing films, so you can watch while you're in a spaceship or in the jungle, for instance. Also, while the screen is up, it will actually cast a shadow underneath or around your room. And speaking of rooms, when you use this feature, it also dims the lights of the surrounding room. One of the other features is its 3D camera. With this, of course, you can capture the moments, you can record videos, and rewatch them in a more fuller view. You can also use the device for web meetings, YouTube videos, group documents, activities with multiple participants. Now you will be able to load everything pretty much that's on your phone, and this does include the App Store, which is good for VEVE because that does mean you're going to be able to use the VEVE app, go into your vault, see everything in AR, use your collectibles in AR, and when it comes to metaverse. Also with Safari, with the internet settings, you'll be able to use the VEVE web app. This device has been built on the foundations of Mac OS, iOS, iPad OS, and should work flawlessly with any Apple device. This day and age, it was essentially unheard of using an AR VR headset without a paired operating device such as a further computer or console plugged in. This also means you are no longer confined to your room or your home space. One of the other more needed features in VR AR headsets is the ability to see the room around you. Fortunately, with this device, you will be able to do just that, so no more bumping into tables. This also means if you have guests in the house, you have family members trying to talk to you, you're not completely blind to them. Now we move on to the headset design itself. This device is heavily loaded with tech and loaded mostly with new tech. As I said before, you will actually have two displays for each eye. This will be a custom LED display system. The screen sizes themselves are no more than the size of a stamp and will give more pixels than a 4K TV. It has new tech in the design of its spatial audio, supposedly to bring more immersive sound and still give you the option to blend in with the real world sounds around you. It even has the ability to analyse the room or the surroundings around you and adjust to the acoustics. The Vision Pro is also a dual chip design. One chip, the M2, will cover Vision OS, user computer algorithms, search results, stuff like that, and also the graphics. The other chip, the R1 chip, will deal with all things camera related, sensors and microphones. This headset also has a battery, so you no longer have to be connected to the wires. The battery does have a 2-hour charge, but you do have the wired option. Also has its own Wi-Fi, it has a bunch of cameras and sensors, all with LEDs and infrared tracking the user's eye, and of course tracking the user's hand movement. This also does the 3D mapping. Now before we get into the pros and cons, there was a big announcement that Disney were in fact a partner. So I did actually clip that announcement part, so I will actually play that now. Now if you did watch the video and the clip itself, feel free to skip ahead.
What if all the things that we thought were impossible were suddenly possible? You could experience your favorite stories in unexpected ways. Or in unbelievable places. You could do more than just watch sports. You could be at the game without leaving your home. Or be part of the action like never before. What if you could travel on a National Geographic adventure from your couch? Or if your imaginary friends weren't quite so imaginary? What if you could bring Disney World into your world? And what if you could become a superhero and seek the answer to the ultimate question? What if?
Space, time, reality. It's more than a linear path. It's a prism of endless possibilities, imperceptible to most, but not to you.
So as you can see by the advert, that is pretty bullish. I'm not going to lie, that is sexy looking at the castle in AR. Even has the light parade. Did also showcase a Mickey AR poster that could or could not be related to VEVE at this point. It even showed the cartoon Mickey Mouse jumping out of the poster and moving around the living room. But the castle and the light parade, that's definitely my favourite bit. So let's talk about the good, the bad and the ugly. The tech itself actually seems flawlessly put together, and the way you operate it seems really cool. Also the way it follows your eyes, your finger movements, it does sound fully immersive. However, with the release not being until 2024, you can't really say for sure whether the features have been implemented. Also about the release, it does actually say it's released in America 2024, and most other countries will follow after that. However, it could be a while after that. Now the biggest issue in my opinion is the eye-watering $3,500 price tag. Now if you want mass adoption, that is not generally how you're going to do it. But with that being said, within a couple of years the price will come down. I'm sure in 5 years it'll be more affordable. Now they are advertising the cinema feature a lot, there are a couple of issues with that. Now on the base of it, enlarging a screen to as big as you want and watching it in a curved angle and watching it fully immersive with scenery behind it, in front of it, whatever you want to do. I must say it does actually look great, and I do actually think this would put cinemas out of business. However, hold up. Now if you have friends over, or you have a family for instance, or you just want to watch TV with your missus, you will all need a headset to watch. This will be really expensive. It's expensive enough to buy one, let alone 3 or 4. Now one of the good ways this could actually come in handy is if you wanted to watch something other than what your partner was watching. So you can overlay whatever you want over the top of the actual TV screen in your front room, meaning now you can both watch TV at the same time but different programs and still have a cuddle. Maybe an awkward one because you will be wearing a headset, but that definitely does solve the remote problem. Now of course we all know at this point that Apple like to keep themselves to themselves. In fact they have phones with special parts built in so they can ensure less fraud, and obviously this also means they're the only person that can repair them, although most shops and places have got around this by now. Keeping that in mind, this device is for use with Apple products. If you have no Apple products like me, it is a problem. But of course, on the other hand, it is a good side because there is no further system needed. No computer, no operating system. Now, if you'd have asked me yesterday, based on all of that, I'd have give you a 0% chance that this headset would be used for anything other than Apple. But with that being said, they have just partnered with Disney. Also, from a VEVE perspective, Disney is very prevalent. So I would say this partnership is only a good thing for VEVE. Plus, like I said, you have access to the app stores, the internet, you will be able to access VEVE. But this also shows a willingness to work with others. Now, one of the other bullish things I did take note of is this device is mainly centered around AR, not VR technology. And we all know that's a big thing for VEVE. This also means it's to merge the real world with the surroundings with the AR technology. than it is being in a VR full screen game. Another plus with the item is the 2-hour battery, and in fact it can be completely wireless. Now I did notice one issue with the design itself. When using AR VR headsets when moving around, the headset does tend to slip. The head strap is usually the one to prevent this. However, this one only has 2 side straps, no head strap. So I do feel this one's going to be easier to slip down. And yes, the design is the sleekest it's ever been, but it is still a full heavy looking headset. It's not the AR glasses we imagined. So walking around outside, you're still going to stick out like a sore thumb. Also, where I live, if you walked around with that on your face, you'd probably get robbed. One of the other concerns I have with this item is actually the 3D camera. So with a lot of devices these days, the phones, the TVs, they are listening to us. So with that being said, I'd worry about what security it actually has. Will people in the future be able to hack the device, like we've seen with so many before, and have a full imagery and sound of your house? Now, one of the things I think everyone's kind of looked over here is, yes, MetaQuest 3. So I did mention the older 2 versions, but yes, there is a 3 coming out in autumn this year. This actually has a better price tag of $620. So this is way less than the Apple headset. This device does also have 2 separate eye screens, not as good or small, but separate nonetheless. Now this device does actually do the same kind of things, although I would say it's slightly less advanced and slightly less graphics to it. Now the Apple Basketball, the games themselves look really great. Whereas on the Meta device, they actually look like Nintendo Wii games. Now the big kicker with that device, it does actually have 2 controllers. So operating, I would say Apple wins. Now on the Disney side of things, they did actually show an AR poster. It was a shame they couldn't show a VEVE one. Disney's done a couple of things now, a couple of advertising things, and there's no mention of VEVE anywhere. So to sum up, overall, yes, VEVE does tie in. Yes, the product's revolutionary, but it's definitely not priced for the masses. And I think that will be its biggest downfall. And with the MetaQuest 3 coming, that could also help drop sales. Most of the things you can essentially do on your phone or tablet, you can actually do it on this device. And there will be 100+ games on launch. This will also include Disney subscriptions. But is that enough to justify paying $3,500 for it? Also, for many of the functions to use it to its full capabilities, you need multiple Apple products. So this could get even more expensive real quick. So for me, it's definitely too much money, but the tech itself is actually mind-blowing. So of course, let me know what you think. Is this good for VEVE? Do you think it's good for VEVE? Do you like the AR headset? Would you pay the price? This has been one of my longest videos to edit and research, so please give it a like. Well, only if you liked it, of course. As always, I've been your host, Bob Sales. This time next year, we will be millionaires. A peace.
Try this little guy.
Get rid of it! Get rid of it!
It's fucking Chucky.